Welcome to Object-Oriented Python, 13 weeks to get your code into senior shape. Here's the deal. Functions don't scale, classes do, and most OOP tutorials waste your time on animal-to-dog inheritance you'll never actually write. This series teaches what working Python devs ship every day: data classes, composition, dunder methods, solid, applied to real domain models like cart and line item. No God objects, no academic exercises. So who's this actually for? 4 kinds of devs. 1. You finish the Python Beginner series and your code base is 50 functions deep and starting to tangle. 2. You already know OP from JavaScript, Java, or Go, and you want the Pythonic version: data classes, properties, dunders, duck typing. 3. You ship code for a living and want real trade-offs, not lecture notes. And 4, you want to crack open Django or Fast API source and actually understand what you're reading. Here's the problem, made concrete. Up top, procedural. A cart dict, 3 loose functions, and nothing stopping anyone from mutating items or stuffing a string where a price should be. Below, same logic. But cart owns its items, the types are declared, and the behavior lives with the data. That's the shift, and it scales. Discount, payment method, order, all take the same shape. So here's how we get there. 13 lessons, 5 sections, each one stacking on the last. Foundations covers the why and the basics. Classes, instances, init. Daily is the working vocabulary. Methods, inheritance, and why composition usually wins. Advanced gets you encapsulation, polymorphism, dunders, professional layers in data classes, solid, patterns, and L12 is the capstone. You ship a real e-commerce cart, not a toy. The kind of model you'd actually push to production. And here's a taste of what that capstone actually looks like. A frozen product data class for immutability, a line item with a computed subtotal property, and a discount strategy protocol for swappable pricing rules. Every comment ties back to a lesson: L02, L07, L10, L11, all converging in one file. This is the payoff. Data classes, properties, and duck-typed protocols working together on a domain you recognize. Before we go further, let's be honest about what we're skipping. No animal-to-dog to bulldog inheritance. You'll never ship that. No multiple inheritance gymnastics. We touch MRO in Lesson 5 just so you can read legacy code, but you won't write it here. Not all 23 gang of 4 patterns either, just the 4 that actually earn their keep in Python. Strategy, factory, singleton, adapter. And no Java-style classes for everything. Python code bases are mostly functions, and we'll teach you when a class genuinely wins. Now, how you actually consume this: 3 paths. Linear is the one I'd pick. 13 weeks, 1 lesson a week, watch Monday, code Tuesday and Wednesday, review Friday. That's where the capstone pays off. Sprint it in a weekend if you've done OOP elsewhere and just want the Python flavor. Or treat it as reference. Lesson 9 on dunders and Lesson 10 on data classes are the most bookmarked. Hit them when you need them. Whatever path you pick, it all orbits these 5. Abstraction hides the mess. Cart.add instead of 100 lines of logic. Encapsulation locks state and behavior together so outside code can't corrupt your invariants. Inheritance reuses behavior, but you'll learn why composition usually wins. Polymorphism is nearly free in Python thanks to duck typing. And composition, has a over is the reflex that scales past toy examples. By Lesson 11, you'll reach for all 5 without thinking. And here's the good news on tooling. There isn't any. If you finished the Python series, you're already set. Python 3.10 or newer, venv, your IDE, done. Everything else lives in the standard library. Class, data classes, ABC, typing, protocol, enum. PyTest, MyPy, and rough stay optional. 0 pip installs to start because OOP isn't a framework. It's a language feature. Now let's talk time. Roughly 2 hours per lesson, 30 hours total across the series. And that's an honest number, not a marketing one. 20 minutes on the video, 10 on the slides, 30 typing the examples by hand. No copy-paste, muscle memory matters. An hour on the 3 exercises and 20 minutes reviewing what broke. Skip the exercises and you've wasted the lesson. That's where it actually sticks. So here's the payoff. By lesson 12, 6 things should feel automatic. Spotting the 5 to 7 classes in any domain, reaching for data class before hand-rolling .init hours, using a property instead of Java-style getters, defining protocols for structural typing, implementing the dunders that make your objects behave like built-ins, and, the senior reflex, picking composition over inheritance by default. If any of these still feel hard after 13 lessons, message me. The series didn't deliver. That's the welcome done. 13 lessons, 5 sections, 1 capstone, roughly 30 hours of work ahead. Next up, Lesson 01, Why OOP? We'll look at when functions stop scaling, the dict soup problem you've probably already lived through, and the 4 real reasons working Python devs reach for classes. See you there.